Hi, all. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about IAM management. In AWS environment, IAM is nothing but a security management. So IAM is what is mean? What is IAM management? IAM is the security discipline that enables that right individual access to the right resources at the right time for the right reason. This so mainly IAM used to control the authentication and authorization. Okay, so how we are going to control authentication authorization? So let's say for example, if someone joined to the your team, so we want to give the access to the particular new joining. So how we are going to give the console access? Console access is nothing but the AWS console access. So that's UI access. So if somebody join, we need to decide the user have a read-only access or full access. In the such cases, the read-only access means how we are going to give read-only access. We have to create the user, and the user should have a what kind of permissions we need to give such kind of services such kind of permissions we are going to allow to the user. That is called the user management, to how you control the access to the specific resources uh, in different way. Okay, if you want to give the full access also, we can create a user, we can give the full access. That is called about the we are going to set up the policies and grouping. There are ways to set up these kind of access management. So okay, first there is ways. One is creating the user and groups and rules and policies. Okay, let's talk about the what is the users. If we talk about the users, okay, we'll create the user. The user should be read-only access or full access. If you have read-only access, you can only see all the resources only read-only way, console way, but he can't do anything in the console level. That is called read-only access. If you create a user with full admin privilege, the user can do anything. Let's say for example, if you create a user, you don't want to give the full access to AWS account, you want to only for the specific resource access. Specific resources mean either S3 bucket or EC2 console, EC2 access. So those kind of resource only he can see, but he can't see other services. Okay, that is called users. That kind of access we are going to provide. When you create a group, actually what is mean by group? So rather than so let's say for example, we want to create 10 users in 10, we have to give the 10 users, we are going to give the uh, assign to the access. In that such cases, what we're going to do, we are creating the user. After that, what we'll do, when you create a user, we need to assign the policy. Okay, every time we have to create all the users, we have to assign the policy, individual policy to each individual policy to the specific user. So rather than assigning policy every time, so in that case, we are going to create one group. The group we are, let's say for example, that is a read-only group. Read-only group means we are what, how many people want read-only access. We'll just create a group with required policies and assign the group to the particular user. So whoever assigned the user can only for the read-only access. That we are going to, that's the way we are going to control the access to the specific users and roles. Okay, what is mean by roles? Okay, let's say what is mean by roles and policies. Let's say for example, if you want to communicate between the two services means, let's say for example, we have a Linux server, we have a S3 bucket storage account. So I want to copy my local server data to S3 bucket. In that scenario, how we are going to manage, which to create a we are going to create one role on the top of the EC2 server. EC2 server is nothing but a Linux server. Okay, create the role, I assign the role to the Linux server. Then we are going to generate a policy for S3 bucket. Then on S3 bucket storage account, what kind of access we want, whether it could be read and write, such a ways. So just to create the policy and attach the policy to the particular role where we created on the EC2 server. Okay, then user can copy the data from your local machine to the S3 storage backend. That we'll talk about little later. I will make another video. First we'll concentrate on the what is IAM management. Okay, this is what IAM management, users and groups and roles and policies. Okay, I'll go ahead and show you. We talked about it briefly. Now we are going to talk to the, okay, now I am in the IAM management console. Okay, now I'm going to create a user. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going okay, we have a two users. Okay, I'm going to create a new user. Okay, let's go to create a user. Okay, what I'm going to create, I'm going to keep it as a, just to create a read only user. Okay, read only. Okay, so if you want, you can create a multiple user same time. We can keep it as a different name, uh, read only, if and dev. Okay, if you want, you can make a one more user also. You can go multiple user, but I'll go with at the moment one user. Okay, If we scroll down below, select AWS Axis type. Okay, there are multiple ways. There are two ways. Sorry, there are two axis type. One is programmatic axis, another one is AWS management console axis. What is mean by programmatic axis? So programmatic axis is nothing but a, okay, let's say for example, okay, programmatic access basically, how we are going to mention, if you want to use the any API command, either CLI command, we have to create a when you generate a programmatic access for the particular user, it will generate the security and the access key. Based on the security key access key, you can manage through command line for the specific AWS resources. That is called programmatic access. So you can see there is a, bunch of APIs, CLI tools available for SDK for AWS. We can use .NET and Java and Python and Terraform. Terraform is open source, but Amazon come up with a few services. Such a way we can go programmatic access. But AWS access management console access. Console access means the same way we can access the console access. But at the moment I'm going with considering this console access. I don't want to do CLI. CLI I will do little later when I talk about S3 between the service, copying the data from local server to the S3 bucket. That scenario, how we are going to manage the CLI command, AWS CLI command, that I will talk about to later class, later sessions. First, we'll talk about the IAM management. Okay. Now I'm going to give the generate. You can generate the authorized password, but I'm going to custom password. I'll give the customer password whatever I want. I'll keep it as something. Then okay, required password reset. So user must create a new password. Next sign in. When you're trying to log into the user, it will ask for the change the password. Okay, I don't want to do. If you want, you can click this here. Okay, I'll go with next to permissions. Okay, if I click on here, okay, here we are not creating any groups at the moment. First, I will create the user. Let us the policy. Then later I will talk about how to create a groups. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to assign the policy. Now we create the user. Now the user should have what kind of permissions we are going to assign to the particular user. Okay, now if we click on that as the existing policy directly, or even if you want to generate the other policy also, that depend upon. But I will go with the existing policy. But I will show you how we generate the policy for later. Okay, but what? Okay, the user is I want to only keep it read only. In this read only. Okay, if I enter read only. Okay, if I enter read only, I'm going to give the user should have only read only access. If I scroll down all the way down, okay, if I scroll down, you can see read only access. Okay, if you select the there is a lot of access available. Read only access means we are going to get the entire read only access on entire AWS account. Within the AWS account, we are going to the full access. So full access, full access, not full access, read only access. All the services. It's not about the individual services. We have 200 services available. 200 services. We are going to get the read only access. This particular user. Okay. Now, if I'll show you. First, we'll go with read only. Then I'll go with later for the admin access. Okay. Okay. Next, select next. Is the tags. We can keep it anything. I'll keep it as a name. Uh, Keep it as a something. You can keep it anything. Read only. It doesn't matter. You can keep it. Let's review. Okay, if you scroll down, you can see the manager type and permission summary. We are assigned the read only access, and the key name tag we can name is read only. Okay, then create the user. Okay, now I created the user. Now if I copy this one, copy link address. Okay, now we created the read only user. Okay, if I go open to the new browser, if I say enter here. Okay, now this is the AWS account where I was created where I was created user. If you can see here, uh, if you can find out account number here. So this is the account number. Okay, it will automatically come when you create a user. Okay, this is the account number and username. What is the username which I created? Okay, let's go back and see. The username is read only. Okay, let's come back here. Uh, Read only and the password which I created, which I was okay. I'm going to give the password. Okay, now now I log into the AWS account. Okay, you can see here read only and the account name. You can see here. Okay, IAM user, IAM IAM user is read only. Okay, then my account name. Okay, now now I'm in the I'm not using any root level access. See root level root. root level access means when you create a account, what are the mail which you created, that is called root level access. But this is not the root level access. I was This is specific user access. This is the root level access. Root level access is but when you first initially create the AWS account, that is root level access. Okay. I hope you understand what is the root level access and user management, IAM management. Root level access come when you create a first time when you go ahead and create a account. By that time, we'll get a one user ID that is called root level access. That user can do anything. Okay. This is the IAM management. We are going to control the. We are not going to give the root level access to everyone. Okay, why? Because we have to manage the AWS accounts read only and we want to specify only few people have root level access. Why? Because they are managing the AWS account. The other people, developers and testing team, they have only for the read only access. Such a way, that's why we are come up with the IAM management. Okay, this we have created with the read only user. Okay, in the read only user, like for example, we have few service available. I have S3 bucket. Let's see. I'll show you. Okay, whether I am able to delete the any services. I'm not able to delete anything, but I'll go and see how it's. Okay, we have created one S3 bucket here, testing S3 new. So what we're going to do, if I click on here, I'm trying to delete a couple of objects inside the bucket. This is called one of the storage account. I'll talk about later briefly what is mean by S3 storage. Okay. Now I have a one folder inside. Now I would like to delete this folder. Okay, let's see how we are going to do. If you say action here, okay, delete option is there. Okay, if I click on here, okay, if I scroll down here, okay, specify object delete, okay, delete object to confirm deletion type, type delete field, delete in the field. Okay, if I enter the delete, okay, okay, delete object. If I click on this one, let's see. So successfully deleted, nothing deleted, zero objects, but you can see the failed is delete object. Why? Because you can see here below the failed to delete. What does mean? The folder name is BAS and this is the timestamp which I'm in. Okay, access denied. What is meant by access denied? Why? Because the user read only user have doesn't have a uh, full access on the AWS account. He's only having the only read only access. Is having the read only access. Okay, is having the only read only access. He can only select the data, but he can't see. He can't create. Okay, now we are trying to delete. Now let's go ahead and trying to create one of the EC2 server within the read only user, read only account. Let's see how it goes. Now I'm in the okay. Now I'm going to create a now we have a couple of services stopped. Now what I will do, okay, okay, let me go ahead and start one of services. Let's see what happened. Start instance. You can see failure to start the instance. You can see you are not authorized to perform the operation. Encode authentication failure message. Why? Because the user read only user have a doesn't have a full access on the SysIC resources. Okay. Okay, let's say for example, I will show you something. Okay, so this is how we are going to manage the read-only access. Okay, for example, I will show you something. Let's go back to the user. This is the user. Let's close it. Okay, this is the user. Okay, now what I'm going to do now? This assign the read-only access. Now I'm going to assign the few more permissions. Okay, so let's click on the add permissions. Okay, so attach the permission. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, I will try to access the okay. Now I'm trying to start the EC2 server. Now I'm going to assign only for the particular service. So this user is already assigned the read only. We assign the read only access, but again I want to assign this user have to start the EC2 services. Okay, specific resource. Rather, now at the moment entire AWS account have this user only read only access. Now I am going to attach the one more policy for the user and for the user. Which specific resource I'm going to assign, that is EC2. Okay, if I select EC2, okay, if I select EC2, you can see Amazon EC2 full access. If I click on this one, okay, if I click on this one, next to preview, so you can see, okay, Amazon EC2 full access. Now I have assigned the particular read-only user. Okay, this user have two permissions. Okay, this user have a read-only user have two permission. One is for the, you can see Amazon EC2 full access, and the other one is read-only access. Okay, again, if I go back again, okay, if I go back to the here, select the one of the EC2 server which I stopped. Now if I try to start it, now again you can see now again I'm in the read only user, you can see here. Okay, now if I go and start the instance, you can see now we can successfully started. Why? Because this user have assigned to the uh, policy, uh, which policy we assigned? EC2 policy, which we assigned is EC2 full access. EC2 means this is the EC2 service, I assign the full access. Okay, that's why we are able to start the, that's why we are able to start the EC2 server. If I, let's say for example, if I go back to the again S3, this is the other service which is available in AWS. Okay, if I go back again to the deleting the object, but I can't delete. Let me show you. Let me try again. Okay, now I'm in AWS account. Okay, if I select the folder again, now I'm trying to delete the object within the S3 bucket. Okay, you can see saying delete. If I enter, if I enter delete, if I enter delete object, okay, you can see object failed to delete. Why? Because access denied. Okay, okay, let's go back to the again one more policy which I am going to attach. Add permissions, existing policy. We have what the, which service we are trying to do, that is S3. If you go on S3, if you enter S3, you can see Amazon S3 full access. Okay, I'm going to assign to the full access to the particular bucket. Okay, particular user, sorry, particular user. Now if I assign to the add permissions, now the user read only user have a three permissions. One is for the entire full read only access, and we we are able to start the and EC2 full access and S3 full access. By using EC2 full access, we are able to start the server successfully. But now I assign to the S3 access. Now I'm going to delete the po- okay, let's go ahead and do now delete. Let's see we're able to delete or not. I will show you. Okay, now I'm in the folder. Okay, if I delete, if I scroll down, say delete. If I click on, you can see here successfully deleted object. Okay, you successfully delete one object. Okay, you can see. Let's go back. We are able to successfully deleted the S3 bucket. Let's go back. If I select this bucket, we are able to delete the, if you click on here, okay, confirm delete. What is the bucket name which we are trying to delete? This is the bucket name, testing S3 new. If I select this one, if I enter here, the bucket is not empty. I think still couple of it there. Let's go ahead and see what is available inside. So there is nothing is available. Delete. Yeah, there is no inside. Why it is still showing? Yeah, there is no. There is no. Some reason we are not able to. Why it is showing? First of all, make it empty. All objects. Okay, if we enter delete, delete, type permanent delete. If I enter now, now it is empty. Now let's go ahead and delete. Testing hyphen. Now if I enter, you can see now successfully deleted. Okay, now I am able to create everything I can do. This is called how we are going to manage the policy. Okay, now what we're going to do now, let me log out, signed out. This one we don't want, this one. Let's go back to the, okay, so what we're going to do now, what happened is, so we have created a policy, we have attached it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this one completely. mm, Delete this one. So okay, now this user only having the read-only access. What? Let's go back to the user. Let's go back. This user, read-only user, only having the access. Now I'm going to create a user. Okay, let me go ahead and take it out to user as well. You don't want user anymore. Let me delete the user as well. Okay, let's go back to the groups. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, we have a how, what is group. Now we, okay, let's say we have created user, we have assigned to the SESIC policy to the user. Now I don't want to, we have 10 users. Again, every time we have to create a user, again assign to the individual policy to the user. So rather than managing multiple users, have multiple policies assigned to the particular users. So what I will do, I'll go ahead and create a user group. One is called group num, dev developer and read only, developer read only. I'm going to create a one group. Okay. If you create a group, I'm going to attach the policy. What kind of policy which you are going to assign? Okay. This is a read only group which I created. Okay. Now I'm going to attach the read only, just read only. Type search. If I scroll down, if I scroll down below, yeah, this is the read only access. Okay. Now I assign the policy to the specific group. Okay. Okay. Now we have a group. Okay. This is the group. Okay, this is the group. This group will have a read only user access, the policy which I attached. Now let's go back to the user. Now I'm going to create a user called, okay, user one. Okay, let's become a user. Then I'm going to create one more user. This time I'm going to user one. Okay, we have two users now. Let's proceed with, and I want to console access. Let's click on this one. Sorry, let's go back to the previous. I don't want to generate. I'm going to keep the confirm password. Okay, I don't want to generate my password when I'm trying to log into the console sign on, so I'll go with this one. Okay, now I'm going to assign the group. We already created the group, that is the developer and the iphone read only. That is the policy which I attach. What is the policy which I attach? Read only access. Now I select this group. Now if I say next, next, okay, you can see group, that's the group name. Okay, now create a user. Now we have successfully created a user. Now take this one, take copy this management console sign in. Okay, let's go back to the other console. Let's try to here. Okay, okay, now in the what is the username? Is the user, and the username is, okay. Now we can see I'm in the user one. Okay, this is the this is the way we can manage. This is completely read only access. Why? Because this user is assigned to the this user is assigned to the specific group. Okay, which group this user is assigned? uh, Read only group. Okay, this user is assigned to this group. Because this group only, what kind of policy this group is having? This group is having only for the read only policy. Okay, that's why. Okay, let's go back now. Now let's come back. Okay, now in the user, let's sign out this user. Now what I will do, I'm going to create one more user, one more group now. Okay, so what is the group? Now we have we show now we can see how we are going to access the read only. So if we create a multiple user, just create the user, assign the user to the group, then user can have the read only access. Now I want a admin access, admin full access. In that scenario, now let's say again, so now we want to select the administrator access. So administrator access means that is full access in the Amazon. Okay, if I click on next, okay, create a group. Okay, now we have admin access. Now if I create a one more user, let's say for example, we have a user called DevOps admin. Okay, so let's create a one user, then assign this one. Let's go back and custom the password. I don't want to change my password. Next permissions. Okay, then click on next. Click on next. The user have a, what happened? We already created a group. Admin access, administrator access. That's why it's showing like this. We create again one more user. What is DevOps, which I created as DevOps. If I scroll down, console access, give a password. I don't want to change my password. Okay. Select a admin full access. This user already have administrator access. This group, sorry, this group, create a user. Now we have successfully created. Take this copy link cutter, go back to the console, go back to the console. You can see here what is the user, DevOps, Lotus, DevOps. Now we in the I'm you can see here now I'm in the now we can see here I'm in the DevOps user. The IAM user is DevOps. Okay, you can see like this. Okay, if we go to the user console, why? Because this user DevOps user have the full access. If you go and see here, go to the instance. Now I can see one instance running. I want to go ahead and stop this one. Okay, let's select this one. Maybe stop instance. If you say stop, it's going to stop the stop the server. Why? Because this user have a full access. Okay, you can see here this is the IAM user. That's why we can choose. So what is the difference between the IAM user and okay root user? Okay, there is two users. If you go and see here, okay, this is the account. It doesn't show anything. Why? Because it is a root user. If you go and specifically see the here, but it clearly saying IAM user. Why? Because you can see username at the rate of account name. That is called IAM user. Okay, you can easily find out. Even if you can sign out, if you log in while trying to log in, okay, you can see here. Okay, this is the account name showing. Okay, this is the account name. Okay, if I want to go back to the, you can see here signing in using root user. If you click on here, so they have two user sign in. One is a root user, one other one is root user is nothing but when you create a first time account AWS account, that is called what is the username which you are giving, that is called root user. The IAM user is nothing but I just show you how you create the IAM management, that is called IAM user. Okay, when you click on here, you are going to create the AWS account, the AWS account, and we have to select next. Okay, such way we have to log in. If we have a root user, okay, so we just need to give the root user what is the mail ID which you root user mail ID, just to click on next and give the password. That is called the difference between the root user and IAM user. IAM user is a account that performs a daily task. Okay, root user is nothing but a account owner that performs the task required unrestricted access. So root user can have access, can make unrestricted access to anyone. That is called the root user. Okay, so uh, that's why we are managing the IAM. That's how we are going to manage the access to everyone. Okay, before going to, I'll show you one more thing. So that's why we have to manage. Uh, let's say, for example, if you want to create a any specific policy, let's say, for example, you can see here create a policy. Okay, I want to create a policy. Whether two ways we can create a policies. One is Visual Studio is there, and is a JSON. Okay, so Visual Studio is the JSON is there. If you select Visual Studio, okay, there is a you need to choose the service here. Let's say, for example, I want to choose the service here S3. Okay, select S3. Okay, if you select S3, what kind of access we need to give? Full access. S3 full access, and click on next to resources. Resources means specific resource we want. I don't want that one. Let's go with specific resource means with specific air, and Amazon means okay, I'll keep it as all resources at the moment. Then click on next. Click on review policy, and we have to give policy name. You can give S3 full. You can give for testing. You can give description anything. You can see here S3 full access and create a policy. Now we have created the policy successfully for the SV. If we select here, what is the policy name which you created? This is the policy. Now if I click on here, okay, attach. If I want to attach the policy to, uh, if you select the policy, okay, I want to attach the policy to specific user. If you have user, let's go ahead and attach the policy to specific user. If we go back to the user, okay, now we have. If you go back to the user, what is the username? This is the user. Okay, the user have the, you can see two. One is for the attached policy which we want generated generated console level. The other one is group. What is the group name? That is a read only. Okay, that's what I want to say. The other one more thing before going to identity provide, even what happen is if you want to manage a mm, uh, there is one more way we can restrict the policies. So if you go back to here, if you go and see, where is the other one? If you go to see my security credentials, if you click on here, even we can manage here multi-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. If you want to enable, if somebody log into your AWS account, we can enable authentication. We have to download this app. When you're trying to somebody login, we'll get a OTP password. By if you enter, then only people will log in. Even if you forgot your username, if you lost your username, password also, if you enable the multi-factor authentication, when somebody log in, that will get notify you to your mobile. Okay, that's the way also we can restrict it. There is a ways, but this is one of the way. So we can manage the multi-factor authentication. The access key, this is something like a full access to manage the any CLA tool. If you want to use the PowerShell or SDK and directly API key, this is like one of the command line tool. We can generate a access is access key and secret key. By using access key, secret key also we can manage. AWS CLI command tool is there. I'll make a one more video full AWS CLI how we are going to use by using access key and secret key. Okay, and we have another Terraform videos also available. You can go ahead and see. Then you can understand how we are going to use the AWS secret key and access key. How we are going to create a services in AWS account by using Terraform. There is a uh, I make 7-8 videos in Terraform. You can go ahead and see. I will make a couple of videos later. That's all from my end. I hope you guys like my video. uh, Fully almost I covered fully IAM management. I hope you guys like my video. Please do subscribe my channel, and if you likes, please do thumbs up, like, and share it. Thank you. That's all.